Now let's understand in detail how Tabbed Toolbars work and how can we use it to maximize our working in Rhino. They are like group of tools and commands in Rhino. Every group comes with its own set of horizontal bars and sidebars. For example, under Standard tab, you will see a horizontal toolset which have different options like saving a file, opening a file, orbit, pan, rotate, and others. And in the sidebar, which is also known as main toolbar in Rhino, comes with a mixture of very common tools and commands in Rhino, like selection tool, point tool, making polylines, curve lines, circle ellipse, and also some 3D making tools like box, sphere, and so on. When you move to the next tab, which is curve tools in my screen, you will see a different set of tools and commands in horizontal bar and sidebar. Same goes with other tabs. Now, what if you want to add or remove the tabs here? To add a tab, it's simple. Just right-click on the line of the tabs as shown here and select the option of Show or Hide tabs. It will give you a list of all tools and commands available in Rhino. You can suit yourself accordingly. To remove any tabs, you either click and drag that particular tab and close it there only, or you can again right-click on the line of tabs and uncheck the box of that particular tab which you want to remove. This will hide or remove that tab. Same goes with the sidebar as well. They also act like tabs. For example, if I want to add some more tools in the sidebar under Standard tab, I will go to Tools menu, then I will go to Toolbar Layout. And from the dialog, I will select any tool which I want to add in my sidebar. Let's say animation. Just check the box and click OK. Now, it came as a floating toolbar in my graphics area. I will click and drag and dock it in the sidebar. It will show me different available section in the sidebar where I can dock it. Let's put it at the bottom. Now, what if I want to add more into this, but there is no space left? So there is another efficient way to do that. First of all, let me remove the animation toolbar. Now, I will click and drag the sidebar, which has only main toolbar attached. Next, I will click the gear icon and select Show or Hide tabs option. And from there, I will bring the animation toolbar again. Now, you can see it is attached to the sidebar as a new tab. Now, I will click and drag the sidebar and put it back to its place. You can see now it is beautifully integrated as a tab in sidebar, and I can access to it by just clicking that particular tab. By this way, I can add as many toolbars I want into the sidebar. And to remove any of the tabs from the sidebar, use the same method as we did for the horizontal tabs. Now let's understand how toolbars work in Rhino. Rhino toolbars contains buttons which provides shortcuts to commands. Every button has a recognizable icon which represents the working of the command. For example, if you want to make circle, you can left click the circle button from the toolbar and it will automatically activate the circle command. You can also float a toolbar anywhere in your Rhino screen or dock it anywhere on the edges of your graphics area. You can bring toolbars from Tools menu, select Toolbar Layout, and choose your toolbar. Another hidden option in the toolbar buttons are the Cascade toolbars. If you look closely, there are small triangles under most of the buttons. If you hover your mouse on them, they become bigger, and you can left click to open them. In that, you will find whole set of toolbars. For example, if I hover my mouse over the triangle below circle button, it will give a tooltip which says Cascade Circle. When you click, it will open the whole set of toolbars of circle, where you will find other options of making circle in Rhino. You can click and drag the whole toolbar and make it as a floating toolbar on your screen. And when you're done, you can close it. And the best part is, it doesn't get closed under the circle button. Whenever you want, you can bring it back again in the same way. Now let's understand graphics area. Graphics area includes 4 viewports by default. You can work on any of the viewport with ease by just moving your cursor inside of that viewport. If you want to work in one particular viewport, let's say in perspective viewport only, just double click that viewport and it will get maximized to the whole graphics area. But you can still access other viewport from the bottom tabs, which also opens up in full graphics area. And if you want to bring back the same 4 viewports into the graphics area, just double click again in the active viewport button and it will come back to default mode. Now let's say you don't want all 4 viewports in screen, you can change that layout as well. Just go to View menu, select Viewport Layout, and from the list, you can change 4 viewports to 3 viewport layouts. You can also split any viewport horizontally or vertically, but it will only affect the active viewport. You can also resize the viewports according to your work requirements by dragging it. In case you don't like any of the default layout of the viewport, you can create your own from scratch. You can open the list of options from the viewport tab as shown. From there, you can choose Close Viewport option. Same thing you can do for other viewports as well. But remember, at least one viewport will remain in the graphics area. You cannot close all the viewports. You can see the Close Viewport option is not enabled as it's the last viewport in the graphics area. But no issues. From here, you can customize your own viewport layout. For example, I want 2 viewports only on my graphics area. One as a top view or the plan, and second as perspective, where I can see the 3D of my model. You can also rename the viewports based on your drawing requirements. For example, plan, elevation, etc. Each viewport has its own C-plane and grid. Sometimes when we want, we can orient the construction plane also based on some reference objects or views and many other options. We'll cover that in later videos with some exercises. In case you don't want the viewport tabs to be shown at the bottom, as it takes more space from your graphics area, you can easily hide it. Just go to View menu, open the viewport layout list, and select Hide Viewport Tabs. And the tabs are gone. To bring it back, repeat the same process. But this time, the option will change to Show the Viewport Tabs.